Hey guys, so today I'm going to be using the Stay Wild all-in-one color palette that looks like this. I actually have a video where I actually swatch it and I show you like everything that I bought in the collection, so you could go and watch that video before this one. But in this video I'm going to be doing 5 looks with this palette, along with the jelly glitters, the liquid lipstick, and the mascara. So stay tuned. So I am going to begin with 107, and 107 is this shade right in the middle right here. It's that matte camel sort of shade, and I'm gonna be putting that on my upper crease, like right above my crease right here. I don't know if you can see it. And I grabbed it with my brush. It does have quite a bit of fallout. Reminds me of the pumpkin spice palette from Too Faced. Lots of fallout. Now I'm gonna be using the same 107 shade. I'm gonna be using it on my inner lid. Okay. And now I am going to be using Gin, which is this dark brown shade over here, and I'm gonna be using that. Let's hope it's not patchy. I'm going to be using that on my outer lid and my outer crease. So I'm using a mirror from another palette, and actually this isn't bad at all. Now that I look at it close up, it's actually blending well. Like the pumpkin spice. Okay, so I am adding this to my outer crease, and I'm adding it to my outer lid. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna be using the same Gin, which is that dark color that I've been using. I'm gonna be using that on my lower lash line as well. I finally bought a brush that's a pencil brush and I love this brush. I actually got it at this store called Miss A, which is like a dollar store at the mall, and I am so excited to show you what I got in that store, because I have never shopped there before, and I am thinking of going back because I actually bought like some foundations, and one of them blew me away, and I want to do a review. So I'm going to do a haul, and I'm going to do in the same video it's going to be a review of that foundation. Okay, so that is that right there. It's performing really well, and this is a completely neutral look. It's just like brown and taupe basically, and it's matte. There's no shimmer for now, because now I'm gonna add the shimmer. If you thought I wouldn't add shimmer, you thought wrong, because I love shimmer. So I'm gonna now add Salty, and Salty is this shade right here. It's like a really light taupey, maybe a little bit grayish, sort of like shimmer shade, and I'm gonna be adding that like to 2/3 of my lid. And you can see it just with the brush, but I'm gonna actually add it with my finger, and I'm gonna get close so you can see a little better. It looks like this. I'm scared. What do you think? It just made my look a little more neutral. I mean, it is kind of like a very neutral shimmery shade, so let's see. Let me look at it. Oh yes, shimmer. I'm gonna curl my lashes. And I am going to add the mascara. So I am gonna start out with the side that's like this, that's like thinner, and I am going to add that. I'm thinking that that's gonna curl, right? Doesn't smell like anything. It's actually lifting. Now for the purposes of this video, I am not gonna add any to my bottom lashes, just because I'm gonna have to be taking this off after showing you the finished look, and it's a whole mess, and I will have to redo all my makeup if I were to do that. So I'm gonna show you now the thick part of it. Let me see if I can get close to you, and also be able to look at myself right there. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna let that dry a little bit while I use the other stuff. Okay, so I am going to add bronzer first. I'm so scared, just because I am not used to using bronzer. So I'm gonna be using this shade right here called Whenever, which is the only bronzer there. I see people putting it like up here, but I have a really short forehead and I don't think that's a good idea for me. If I had like a taller, like longer face, then I would definitely add it at the top. But for my purposes and because of my anatomy, I rather not put it there. Okay, now I'm gonna add blush, and I am going to grab Drown, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna be using Drown on my cheeks. Oof, that's a lot. I kind of grabbed too much. Remember how it wasn't showing up on my finger? It's showing up on the cheeks, so that's more than I normally wear. Okay. Now I am going to add the highlighter, which is right here, which is called Summer Twilight, which is that one in the center, that really big one in the center. And I'm using a very fluffy brush for that. Oh my gosh. It's a highlighter, all right. So that's that. Now I'm gonna be trying on the lipstick, the liquid lipstick, and it's this one right here. And it looks like that. Regular, straight doe foot applicator. So let's try it. Okay, It really looked darker on my skin than it does on my lips. It's actually a little lighter than my lip color. And I feel that that's fine because it emphasizes my eyes and the rest of my makeup and kind of like neutralizes my lips. And this is finished look number 1. Alright, that was look number 1. So I'm gonna begin look number 2. And I gotta tell you that this mascara, like I took off my eyeshadow with a makeup remover wipe and I didn't have to reapply the mascara, like I just did my eyelid. And this thing is so good. It didn't even like run off. Alright, so I'm gonna start out with Nowhere. And Nowhere is this shade over here, which is like that, what is that called? Like kind of like an olive green. Okay, so I'm gonna be using Nowhere on my inner crease, and I'm also gonna be using it on my inner lid. Okay, like I said, it's like an olive green. And I mean, it's showing up very nicely. It's not patchy whatsoever. Okay, now I'm gonna be using Calling, and Calling is this shade right here. I'm gonna be using it on my outer lid and on my outer crease. I'm using Whenever, and Whenever is the bronzer. This one down here. I'm gonna use it on my lower lash line. So now I'm gonna grab 1001 Miles, and it's that dark green shimmer shade over here. And I'm going to be using that on my lid, all over my lid. Except like I'm going to try to avoid the outer lid where I have that reddish shade underneath. So I'm going to be using that. And usually with these shades, like shimmers, it's like better to use your finger than to use a brush. But I'm going to start off with a brush and see what it looks like. I mean, it's shimmering. It's definitely shimmering, but let me use my finger. So it looks like this. Yeah, it's really pretty. See that one right there? You see? Alrighty. I am thinking like this is such a pretty combination right now as is, but I'm thinking of adding one of the jelly glitters. So I think I'm just gonna go with this one right here. It's the shade Rebellion. Looks like this. Scared. The only problem with doing it with your finger is that it's not very precise. It goes all over the place. And it feels like sand. This is the finished look number 2. Alright, so now I am going to go to look number 3. Look number 3 is going to be a little bit of a crazy mess, but let's begin and let's see where it goes, okay? So I'm gonna start out with Calling, which is this dark reddish shade right there. And it's more like a rusty sort of red. And I'm gonna be using this on my inner lid. No, not my inner lid, but my inner crease, okay? I'm using this on my inner crease. Okay, it shows up, that's for sure. I haven't put a whole lot because I don't want it like really pigmented, but if I keep building it, it does build up. Next, I'm gonna be using Illusion, and Illusion is the dark maroon shade right here. And this maroon shade, I believe it's supposed to be a blush, but I'm using it as an eyeshadow. And I'm gonna be using this right here on my outer crease as well as on my outer lid. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I am gonna be using, which I haven't used it, Next to the Moon, which is the lightest shade in the palette, and it's this one right here. And this is a perfect like under the eyebrow sort of shade right there. So I'm gonna be using that under my eyebrow. Okay, and now I'm gonna be using Joyride, and actually first I'm gonna be using 107, and 107 is that taupe shade in the middle right there, and I'm gonna be using that shade on my inner lid right here, okay? So I'm gonna be using this right here because that's where it looks better. Okay, now I'm gonna be using Joyride, and Joyride is this shade right here, the blue shade, and I'm gonna be using Joyride on my lid. Now Joyride doesn't seem to have a lot of pigment, it's more like a shimmer, and so let me see if I can get closer to you and use this. So you can see it. I'm gonna add it with my finger. Problem with adding with the finger is that I can't be very precise with placement. And I hate not being precise with placement. So I'm using this little brush right here. It's from Urban Decay, from their smoky palette. Okay, so I'm gonna be using that setting spray right here, and now I am going to be using the same Joyride. I'm gonna be grabbing it, and I'm gonna be trying to place this. Oh yeah, that's working. Okay, so basically using it this way, it's like using your finger in that it gives you the same intensity, but you're able to use a brush, so you're able to be a little more precise with placement. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I have Whenever on the bottom, which is like a medium brown, and I could even do this on the bottom, like even like on the inside I could use Joyride. I just feel like just having it on the top isn't enough. I feel like it needs to be on the bottom as well. So this is finished look number 3. Okay, now I'm gonna do look number 4. Okay, so I'm using 107, which is this shade right here. And I'm gonna be using 107 on my inner crease. I'm gonna be using Whenever on the outside, which is this shade right here. And Whenever is a bronzer. Now I'm gonna be using Sign Dust, and Sign Dust is this highlighter right here, which is kind of like a coppery kind of highlighter, and I'm gonna be using this on my lid. It doesn't have like a whole lot of pigment, I feel, because it's supposed to be a highlighter, but I'm gonna try it with the setting spray and see if that does anything different. And I'm gonna grab it with the setting spray and I'm gonna put it on with the setting spray. See a difference? Oh yes. Beautiful, beautiful color. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Not that there's anything wrong with this look, just because I want to be a little bit extra. Oh my gosh, this is actually really, really pretty. Actually seeing it like this with the mirror instead of the viewfinder, like I can see that it's so coppery. Such a beautiful coppery color. And like I'm pretty neutral right now. My look is pretty neutral right now. And I think it looks so pretty. So I decided that I'm gonna do a little more of a monochromatic sort of thing. And I'm not sure if this is the right brush for this. This is the one from Swamp Queen from Tarte. It's kind of a little flatter, so I'm hoping this works. But I'm gonna be grabbing Snooze, which is this shimmery shade in the corner right here, and I'm gonna be using that on my lower lid. This lipstick does not go with this look, so I am going to go and take it off and then come back and do something else. I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Seriously Satin Lipstick in the shade Cider. So this is the finished look, and this is finished look number 4. Alright, so the 5th and final look is going to be kind of like everything else that I haven't used until now, and like all the other shades that I haven't used. So let's go to look number 5. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Gin for look number 5, and Gin is this dark brown right here, and basically Gin is gonna go all over my lid. Okay, so not my lid, but my crease. Now I'm going to grab Snooze and Teen Spirit. So I'm going to grab Snooze, which is the shimmery shade right here, and I'm going to put it in my inner lid. And then I am going to be using Teen Spirit, which is this kind of like, how can I describe that? Kind of like more of a grayish, like a very dark gray sort of cool toned shimmer, I guess. And I'm gonna be grabbing that and I'm gonna be putting it on my outer lid. I'm gonna grab If You. If You is the gold shade. This gold shade right here in the center. And I am gonna be using If You on the inner part of my lower lid. I am going to add eyeliner. And this is the finished look right here. I decided to add some of this, it's called Queen jelly thing to my eyelids, and I think that I mean I already have enough shimmer up there. Let's add glitter as well. And this is what I don't like. This is exactly what I don't like. It's like when I do it with my finger, I always end up putting it where I don't want it. Okay. You know, that adds like a little pop of like it gives it like that extra oomph. And I love that. I love my glitters. And I gotta say that this is no joke. It already dried. I can't move it. It already dried. Yeah, it already dried, and there's no way that I'm moving that it doesn't move. But yeah, that's what it looks like. let me show it to you with the glitter on. And I should have put it on. Definitely, I should have put it on with a brush instead of my finger because it went wherever it felt like going. Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right, so that was the 5 looks with the Stay Wild collection from Shein, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below which of the 5 was your favorite look, and thank you for watching. Have a great day and stay safe out there. Bye.